Hey guys, XJ9's here, and today's going to be a guide about Vyrewatch, or Lords, or whatever you call them. It's insanely good for how AFK it is. It's 100% AFK. Don't even have to do anything besides pot up, or it depends, but it's really very AFK. And it gives very good combat, prayer, and firemaking experience all at the same time. And prayer is a little bit costly nowadays and time consuming. Like, you can do infernal ashes, but why do infernal ashes when you can just do fires for greater experience? So uh, let's just talk about our gear really quick. So the setup we're gonna be doing today is a range setup, and I chose range because range kind of struggles. Like, it can't. I don't think range can AFK Abyssal Hounds. I think it can AFK Abyssal Demons, but it's not that good experience per hour. I don't think it is. So I'm just using range because I also think it's not a high requirement to do compared to magic and melee. Like, magic, I think, is the fastest. Maybe melee is. I'm not sure, but they have very high requirements. So I think range is the style you want to use with. If you aren't, like, you're pretty good, but like you don't have all the unlocks and stuff. So let me talk about my gear very quick. So first off, the first most important thing you're going to need is a aura of either corruption, harmony, or salvation. Tier 2. That's 18,000 loyalty points, or is it 18? I think it's 16 or 18,000 loyalty points. It's between that. And as long as you have a tier 2 aura, you will not run out of prayer. So one thing you can do is buy like one or two of these, maybe three, and just cycle between them, because you can also use penance and be sustainable that way as well. In my testing, penance aura was sustaining me, but sometimes it would start going down, but sometimes it would stay at max. So if you use penance aura, just bring either penance powder or a ritual shard and just use it whenever, and you should be absolutely fine. But again, the most AFK way to do this is have a tier 2 or greater salvation, corruption, or harmony orb. So we're just gonna put on harmony right away, just to show that's on. So that's the most important thing out of the way. Next is, because we're ranging. This is a range guide. If you're interested about maybe magic and melee, the wiki has a lot of resources about the setups. But this is my setup for range. Animacore Helm of Zamorak. This does not degrade. Does very good damage. Augmented Elite Robin Hood Tunic does a very good damage bonus and has Scavenging 4 and Impatient 4. I think those are probably the best perks. I'm not sure if Biting 4 is better than Impatient 4. But again, free components, so Scavenging 4 it is. You could use a Pernix top for prayer bonus, but again, prayer is not an issue for me. The Zuck Cape, again, this isn't actually important. You can actually use, like, really any cape you want, like a 99 cape. I'm not using Deadshot here, so not really important at all. Amulet of Zealots. And this is actually pretty important because our quick prayers is Soul Split and Leech Range Strength. And that's going to do more damage than I think the tier 99 prayers. And you don't need accuracy, so that's really good. A Reaver's Ring for max damage. If you don't have a Reaver's Ring, it's not a big deal. Again, your kill is probably a little bit lower, not a whole lot. Just use like a Luck of the Dwarves or really any ring, like a Asylum Ring. Very important are Mortania Legs 4. This is to have increased, I believe, prayer experience. I'm not sure about firemaking, but definitely prayer experience. I also have the 500 Vyrewatch burned, which is also pretty important for doing bonus damage to Vyres. So it's a trim requirement. Just look into that if you want. Again, like, it's pretty high requirements because you need elite Mortania Legs and you need to burn all the corpses. I would look into that if you haven't done that yet. Cinderbane Gloves. This adds a little bit extra kills per hour. You could use Armored Gloves and be fine. It's just, the poison will maybe finish them off a bit earlier than usual. It will lower your experience per hour, I believe, because poison damage doesn't equate to combat experience. But, I'm here for the prayer experience, not combat, and it's barely even a difference, so, yep. Silver Rock Boots if you're training agility. I'm pretty much almost done, so soon, if you are not using Silver Rock Boots, just use like Armored Boots. They don't degrade at all. And Pernix Quiver, again, if you don't have a Pernix Quiver, it's not a big deal. Just use a regular Quiver or a Rune Pouch or something with prayer bonus if you want. Again, you probably don't even need it with a tier 2 Aura of Prayer. Not the Robin thing. Augmented Sun Sphere range. And I'll talk about the perks in a second. About my oh, no, I'll talk about the perks in a second. Let me get this. Use the Sun Sphere obviously for range. And Scripture when. Again, you don't even need this when buck, but it is very good for AoE. So if you don't have this, you could use a Scrimshaw Sacrifice, but that's very costly for the 500k-ish range experience you're going to be getting. So yeah, Wens is the best for maximum experience. And so let's talk about the perks on my Sun Spear. So I'm using Chroming 4, Ruthless 1, and Aftershock 4. This is not by far like the best thing you could use. You could use something such as Equilibrium, Chroming 4, Equilibrium 2, and Aftershock 4, Ruthless 1. But it doesn't really matter too much. I'm using Chroming 4 simply because I have Greater Ricochet. If you do not have Greater Ricochet, it's not actually a big deal. You can just use Chroming 2, and there's going to be 5 Vyrewatch total. So Chroming 2 will make it so your Ricochet hits all the Vyrewatch, and you don't need a higher tier because you don't have Greater Ricochet. So you can get a combination such as like Chroming. Again, I'm not even sure how to make these perks, but like, just saying, you can look at the wiki for this because the wiki has. If you look at Chroming wiki, it shows how to get these perks. Chroming 2. Maybe Ruthless 1, but you just like Chroming 2 and Aftershock 4, and you'll probably be just fine. If you don't want to bother with Chroming, because maybe it's a pain to even get the perk, you can just use, Aftershock 4 and Equilibrium 2 Ruthless 1. It's like, it doesn't really matter too much. I think the most important thing is probably the Aftershock and the Ruthless. Again, don't worry too much. Again, I do think the Chroming is very nice, so definitely get into the Chroming, even if you don't have a Greater Ricochet. Chroming 2 or higher is all you need. Draka's Medallion to get there with the teleport. And I have a blue and crimson charm. I actually don't need these. This is just to show that if you are going for 120 or 200 mil summoning, or even 99, it's advantageous to actually take these, because I think if you were to grind from 99 to 200 mil prayer, you would actually have, I think, 45,000 charms. So probably like 40,000 crimsons, 5,000 blues. So that's not shabby at all. So just saying, if you are interested in charms, take charms. But I'm not, so I'm just showing it for purposes of showing. Silverhawk feathers, just to top up your Silverhawks. Again, if you're not using Silverhawks, don't worry about it. I have various different herbs. I have a picture about like the herbs I'm using. It's just like the loot you get from there just as a preset. Congealed blood and the death and blood runes. Spring Cleaner is actually quite good for salvage drops, so definitely bring that. The recent Christmas event gave a lot of tight springs, so you probably have like 5,000, 10,000 in your bank, so definitely use that. Lantadime and Torso Incense Sticks, very good for increased experience and also to make your overloads last longer. A lot of people don't use Lantadime sticks, they're very good, so yeah, use those. And Elder Overload Salves, just because the best overload does most damage, and as you make more overloads, you save more overloads, so that's why I just use the best always. So, besides that, Arc Relics, Death Ward and Fury the Small. Death Ward you probably don't even need, it's mostly just a Fury the Small. You could use something such as Luck of the Dwarves as your third relic, or Inspire All for 2% more combat and prayer experience. So, you could use Very Small, Luck of the Dwarves Relic, and Inspire All, and you'll be good to go if you had this exact setup. And whatchamacallit? Let me look at my notes very fast. The legendary pet. This is actually a legendary pet right now, and the abilities I have it set on are repair. What's it called? Item repair and lifesaver and scavenge. I don't think scavenge actually does anything here because it keeps trying to loot the items that aren't stackable, so it's probably like garbage. Item repair is nice for your Cinderbeam gloves because in between trips or like when you have to go repair your gloves, you can just use your Cinderbeam gloves on your familiar and repair it. Like for example, if I take off my gloves right now and just use it on, wait, is it working? Wait, sorry, I didn't close the interface. Use it on my Kegi. There we go. Repair item. Yep, pay, and it's fixed. And that way you don't even need to visit your player-owned house, and it's giving me warning about nothing. And the third ability is Lifesaver. when you drop a low 10% HP, you teleport. This is very good for hardcore Iron Man, or if you don't want to pay death cost. So you will never die with a legendary pet and a lifesaver. You don't even need a ring of life. So legendary pet is definitely the way to go, because I'm not bothering summoning a bunch of familiars. Sorry, I need to close that. That's my other account. I apologize. And besides that, oh, Seedicide. So I don't need the farming experience, but if you want farming experience, you just go to Seedicide, check all the cheap seeds, and if you like, say you are to level farming, the seeds that you mostly want are watermelon and snapgrass seeds. So yeah, everything else is kind of garbage. And yeah, it's about 360 mile an hour. So let's just get ready and go there. So to go there, we're just going to teleport with the Draken Medallion and go to Darkmire. And let's see if this world's taken, guys. It actually isn't, so that's great. So we're going to go through here, and again, since we're here, you can bank things if you want. So like, okay, I'm starting my next 4 hours here. Chop up your Silverhawks, bank your Medallion, bank your Silverhawk, put on your Spear, bank your Robin if you have them. And I don't need Charm, so I'm just going to bank that because that was just for presentation. And look, I have 5 more slots to pick up drops like Rune Arrows and Limp Roots and stuff. So we're going to go over here. And I guess we're going to close the door in case something bad happens. And yeah, these Vyres are already lured. But if let's just say this was you starting here, it's very important that you walk under Vanisco Draken a little bit. Because sometimes she will act like a wall. And it happens every server reset, so you have to be sure you, do that. Because if the world was never taken, they're going to get stuck right behind her, so you need to do that. You can overload putting your web book into AFK. However, again, the amount of Vyres that need to be out here attacking you are a total of 5. So if there aren't 5 attacking you, there's an issue. It means that they're either hiding north, or like south, or like are stuck in one of the buildings. Like if you look at the map, like it look like right now on my upper right of my screen, you see like there's 2 in here. That's normal. 2 in the other building. That's normal. 2 in the other building. That's normal. So you could increase your kills per hour by opening the door, but like who does that? I don't. So I just killed the 5 per hour here, and we're fine. And and if there aren't 5, I'm just saying, just like go around, kill all of them in the houses, close the door after you kill them. Like you would just, okay, you know what? I only have 4. I'm not sure what's going on. You just go here, kill them, close the door. I would kill that one off. Oh no! Actually, that's not my guy. And I'd probably go down here and kill these people. Like because sometimes there was one stuck here actually. When I went to this world, it was stuck over here. So you want to go and check these spots because sometimes people run off and they get bugged. Like this guy, he doesn't actually belong there. Or yeah, that's where he belongs. So. But as long as you have everything done, you would stand right here. It's 1 south of like this little corner over here. So, like if you go to the tree, it's just 2 east. So that's where you want to stand, and then you just open area loot and just area loot whenever. And yeah, just pick up whatever, like do tooth halves and stuff. And you can even take less overloads if you want to loot more stuff. I don't take Artificer's Measure because of like. You barely even get gems, and I'd rather have a slot of stackable items. I just want AFK. I don't care about the loot, honestly. And I made a little picture here. I'll probably post it in the description or comments, but like, for example, like this is this little cheat sheet. It shows Scavenging 4 and Patient 4 on my top. Roaming 4, Equilibrium 2, Aftershock 4, Ruthless 1 on my weapon. Harmony, Corruption, Salvation. Own 2 of either, plus Penance Art equals Stay Forever. So like, if you have a tier 2 Harmony, a 2-tier Corruption, and Penance Aura, you can cycle through them indefinitely. Like, the Harmony, Corruption, and Salvation Auras only cost 40 Visvax to extend as well. So, it's just really easy to do. Like, you would just use Harmony first, extend Corruption, regular Penance, then double, then extend Harmony, extend Corruption, things like that. Or just in doubt, just extend Harmony and Corruption. Never extend Penance because it's too expensive. This just says the herbs that I have in the preset. It shows my little, limp roots and seeds, the congealed blood. A lot of congealed blood, and those worth like 3k each. And yeah, this preset has the Draken Medallion and Silverhawks banked. So, pretty easy stuff. And yeah, the XP rates are obviously probably going to be in the title or the comments or saying, probably the title. So, yeah, you pretty much just do this the whole time to get like 200 mil prayer. It's very good. I got 200 mil Firemaking already, which is kind of a bummer because I could have got 200 mil Prayer and got 20 million Firemaking for free. So I didn't need to do like, I built like 4 or 5 days, maybe less, of Firemaking. But oh well. This is how I'm going to AFK my Prayer though. So I think that's really it. I'm just making sure I went through everything. Like, it's as simple as this, really. And just, as long as you have, oh my, yeah, my Revolution bar. I didn't even talk about Revolution bar. I mean, you know, you can see it. Hey, last thing, right? Corruption Shot, Death Swiftness, Greater Ricochet. If you don't have Greater Ricochet, I still recommend probably taking regular Ricochet, especially with Chroming. Bombardment, Snapshot, Rapid Fire, Dazing Shot, Piercing Shot, Binding Shot, and Sacrifice. After that, nothing else will go off. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you liked it, maybe leave a comment. I just think these are so broken. No one talks about these. They say like, oh, I do Firemaking with protein logs. Bro, do Firemaking and Prayer with this. So, yeah. Hope you have a nice day. Bye-bye.